Simpson and Delilah was first broadcast on October 18th, 1990, written by Jon Vitti and directed by Rich Moore. In it, Homer discovers a new miracle hair growth formula called Demoxenil and cheats on some insurance firms so that he can buy some. Homer grows hair overnight and is soon given a promotion at the Springfield nuclear power plant. He's given a new secretary named Carl, voiced by guest star Harvey Fierstein, who helps him become successful. However, Mr. Burns' assistant Smithers becomes jealous of all the attention Burns is giving Homer and discovers that Homer is cheating on the forms. Smithers tries to fire Homer, but Carl claims he cheated on the forms and is fired in Homer's stead. Bart spills Homer's remaining Demoxenil, and Homer loses all of his hair. As a result, Homer is demoted back to his old position. Now, I know what a lot of us are thinking. How can they ever explain how Homer lost all of his hair? Well, I think maybe it was because there was a much funnier way to do it, as we would later see in the episode And Maggie Makes 3 in Season 6.
Wow, Dad, you really threw a tantrum like a little sissy girl?
Oh, just that one time.
Actually, when I was about to have Bart...
You're pregnant!
And then when I told him about Lisa...
You're pregnant again?
I mean, that right there pretty much says everything you need to know about what happened there. But going back to this episode here, this is a really good one. A very funny episode, a very solid episode that works well on its own. But the thing that makes it really stand out to me is Harvey Fierstein as Carl. And then the episode becomes spectacular. What's great about the character of Carl is that you can never tell that if he's trying to play any tricks on Homer or trying to scam him out of anything, or does he really, really care about him being a successful person. Because he really is seeming like he's trying to help Homer be a successful person. And that's actually what kind of makes him such a fascinating person, even when he reveals at the end why he was helping Homer out all this time. Which I'm not going to spoil by any means necessary, but I will talk about the particular scene that happens in the end of this. And that's also kind of revelatory for the time when you consider it. You know, after Carl explains why he was helping Homer, Carl kisses Homer and pats him on the butt. And a lot of people were wondering if that implied that Carl was gay. And keep in mind, this is 1990. TV was still very touchy on the subject of gay people at the time. This was way before shows like Ellen and Will and Grace would break the downs for gay TV characters. And in response to this, Matt Groening actually said that when people began asking, was he gay, the day after the episode aired, his response was, he's whatever you want him to be. However, Groening points out he does kiss Homer, he does give him a nice pat on the butt, which is beyond what any other cartoon had done at the time. Yeah, this is a bold episode on that level as well. In fact, there was an episode, 3 Gays on the Condo, where they were actually going to have Carl come back. And, like, that episode, of course, Homer was thrown out of the house by Marge and encountered Carl. The purpose of the appearance was to introduce a gay couple that Homer would live with, but Harvey Fierstein turned it down because the script had a lot of very clever gay jokes, and there just wasn't that Simpsons twist as he put it. One of the other things about this episode that really stood out to me was that some of the shots in this are incredible. There's a great shot, a great transition shot where, you know, Homer's been given the key to the executive bathroom, and, you know, Smithers is so upset, and you see it from the floor. You see him from the floor, like he throws the towel, and then somebody comes and gets it. But then you see the tiles, and as this camera slowly starts to move, it then cuts out to the outside of the power plant building, which is like, it's a really great transition. And this is the show that, like I said, this is a very, very unique season in how they're just, you know, not just telling the stories, how they take slice of real life moments, how the comedy's getting better, but just the chances that they're taking with some of the shots that they have in here. It's just incredible stuff to watch. Another one of the great things about the episode is how Mr. Burns acts to Homer. Now, you know, as the years go on, Burns treats Homer pretty roughly. You know, from never getting his name right at all to when Homer replaced Smithers, literally treating him like trash to the point where Homer just says, screw it, I'm going to punch you right in the face. And then they were on the cusp of killing each other in a cabin during a snowstorm in one episode. But here, he actually doesn't fire him because he sympathizes with him with his male pattern baldness, because he has it too. And the conversation they have is a very nicely handled one, and very much in the same way how Bart Cassidy presented the conflict in that episode. In addition, the jokes here are very good. The episode is probably one of my favorite moments in here, where Homer first tries to get Demoxenil, and the doctor tells him he's not insured for it, and he walks out like crying. He's just like, oh, "Forget you, pal. Thanks for nothing." And then the next day at the plant, you know, to try to look cool out of his fence, he says in a rough, manly voice, "So then I said, forget you, pal. Thanks for nothing." And I stormed out of there. And what I love about that gag is that it literally happens a second after the first time he says that line. The timing in this episode just works so well, and only serves as a precursor to things to come. But there's really not much more to say about this episode in general. It's just a great episode, with a great story, great comedy. Harvey Fierstein really putting his all into it. A strong ending. It's another early winner in a very strong year for The Simpsons going into season 2. We're only 2 episodes in, and it's just going to get better and better from here.